Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
I am very jittery. Lots of shit going down in the family. It just makes me feel physically ill. I did try and I just wish, oh my goodness, I wish, that was the other thing I wanted to say. Sorry, I'm jumping around.
It's okay.
All over the place. The first message I wrote to you on Discord was on May the 30th, 1 year ago.
All right.
So it was around about this time a year ago that, we were starting to talk and perhaps set up. I can't remember when the first session was, but which means that I would have been listening for a lot longer before then. I was doing a lot of listening before I contacted you. But it just makes me feel so odd because all these, I go, a year on, I should be feeling like I know what I'm doing to some extent. It's been a year. And I don't feel like that at all. All these people come on Discord. Oh my God, they're also onto it and also clever, and they also. And one of my pieces of evidence that I don't know what I'm doing is that I still find it so hard to do any kind of solo work that doesn't just peter out into nothing or get distracted into weird places, or nothing that ever resembles a sort of a session, going through all the steps. And I'm so, I wish I could, because, over the last month or so, I would really have liked to be able to do that, because what I really want to do is what I haven't been able to do in all this family stuff that's going down is being self at all. Like that just is not a thing.
Yeah.
And I would really like to be able to do that a little bit, sometimes.
Are you talking about in the engagements with your family, or do you just mean anytime any family stuff is up?
Both.
Yeah.
Particularly in engagements with the family. but even as I'm reacting to it or responding to it, just in my, you know, I'm not. There's no self.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? I think it was probably the first session that we did, and we talked about the blatherer. You remember? And
Yes.
someone constantly yabbering at me about, you know, what an awful person that was, and why did that? What, you know?
Yes.
Well, whether it's exactly the same part or not, but that is back all the time, just constant yabbering at me about all the shit that's going down and how ridiculous, you know, just being mean about people. I know partly it's being mean, and partly he's right. They are ridiculous.
Right.
But anyway, so I can't access self either in the moment or in, say, say I'm doing a written response, you know, where I have time to think something through, an email or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I can't even get to self in order to write something, you know, to come from that place. So that, and I just, it's, and the reason I want to get there is because I know it's the only place that is not going to add to the problem. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Not,
Yes.
not tangle things up more. I don't know that it will ever resolve it, but at least I know it's unlikely to make it worse. And if I'm not in it, then the chances of me adding to it and winding things up are high. And I don't, well, part of me obviously does want to do that because that's what I do. And the other interesting thing about it is that I realized the other day is that there are parts everywhere, all over the place. They are, they take over. The one part that has never come throughout this whole thing has been sadness. And sadness, you know, particularly in sessions, has always shown up as being the one that comes and wipes everything out and gives me some not a sign of it, not even a hint of it.
So that's different.
Yeah, something's different. I don't know. But these other parts are just rampaging, you know.
Okay.
And the one session that I did think I got a little bit I moved along a little bit was, I think I identified, I mean, obviously there's things like rage and anger, and also what's that thing when you're sort of morally outraged? It's a bit different from rage. It's sort of an outrage thing, you know. All those kind, you know, and the blatherer who yells at me and all of those parts. I was going somewhere with this. Oh yes. So the one thing that I think I might have identified, the one part that I think I might have identified, is something along the lines of guilt or responsibility or shame or something like that. But I couldn't find a way of going anywhere with it. So anyway, I think that kind of paints the picture.
Thank you for the detail.
Yeah. I'm all over the place.
I see how much, I really just want to acknowledge how much that you are thinking about it and you are trying, and it sounds really frustrating to see what you see and feel like you're not able to make progress or to show up differently.
Yeah. The only way, the best solution, I mean, when I say best, it doesn't mean it's good. It just means it's the best of a poor choice. The best solution that I've found is to simply opt out and just not reply to people, not respond, not react, not to just to not read, not be present, not just to just disappear on it all.
Okay.
And that's not that. Like I say, that's
That also
that's the
doesn't feel
best
like a self move.
No, no, it's a very protective. No, because I don't even tell people that I'm doing it. I just don't do it. You know, like I think if self was going to do that, it would say something about I'm choosing not to engage in this anymore, or something like that. But I don't know, because that's an intellectual thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because I've never been in self. That's the closest that I've come, is to say, this is what I've got to say, and I'm leaving it at that, and then close everything down and not respond to anything anymore. And perhaps that's okay. I don't know. It's
Does
just
it
nothing.
feel at all compassionate?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, it feels it feels a little bit safer. It certainly feels safer for me, and I feel safer in that I'm not going to say something that is hurtful or that I regret or that.
Okay, I can see that.
So maybe
Being an act of compassion. Does it feel at all courageous?
No, it's pretty easy to do. It doesn't take much power. You just stop, you know.
Okay.
It doesn't feel very self to me.
Okay.
It just feels like running away, and avoidance is what it feels like.
Yeah. All right.
And maybe that's a part of me that criticizes me all the time for whatever I do.
Maybe. But I think it might be safe to trust that if you were in self energy, you would probably know it. I think that's a reasonable assumption.
Yeah, I think so too. And I haven't felt it, you know.
Okay.
So, and I would like to. I mean, even if I managed to do it here today, I just wish I could
do it on your own.
Yeah, and do it on a whim. You know, well, not on a whim, but you know, like do it now. Self.
Okay. Yeah. What's the first step? What's the first step?
Yeah. Yes.
This is your 1 year exam.
Review. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Okay, very good. First step. See the part, you know, or acknowledge, perhaps even before seeing the part, acknowledge that something's going on here. You know, there's
correct.
That you've got a feeling or a thought or a sensation or an emotion or a Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's fairly straightforward, and well, not straightforward, but I mean, it doesn't require, and yet I don't even do that.
You don't?
I don't do it in the moment. I do it later, I think. Yeah.
I wonder what happens that keeps you from doing that in the moment. you're sitting there, you're writing the email, you're blended with some part.
Yeah.
And it's really strong. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's totally strong. Yeah. So you said a question at the beginning of that. What was the question?
I wonder what happens in that scenario that that makes it hard for you to take that first step.
It's like I'm in a different part, in a different, I'll use a different word so I don't get muddled. It's like I'm in a different section of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very, very, it's very cognitive, you know, it's very rational and logical.
Right.
It's thinking about all the irrational, illogical things that are being claimed or being said, and my logical and rational part's going, that is absurd, you know.
Yes.
And because it is,
right.
And I know, sitting here talking to you now, I know that's a part of me, but it's also, do you know what I'm talking about? Is there a word for it? It's also a kind of, I was going to say a way of being, but a part is a way of being.
Yeah.
It's a habit. Maybe it's a strong habit or something. Or
sure. Mm-hmm.
When in trouble, work it out rationally. You know, that's been that's what happens. And I'm a bit, I've got myself lost again.
Maybe because you said that you feel like you're not able to get into self when you're writing the email, but also just on your own away from the email. Okay, so maybe that would be a better place to focus before introducing the higher stakes of the...
Yes, good thinking. Yeah, I just go around with letting the blatherer have free rein, you know? And there's definitely an element of there's a feeling of defensiveness in it. You know, like offense is the best defense, that sort of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that part of it. It sits in my belly and makes me feel nauseous. I just feel sick most of the time.
Okay. And then the next step after identifying it
is to create some space. Oh no, I suppose well, to welcome and to create space in order to welcome it, I guess. And and that not even on the horizon. Okay. Why don't I do that?
For that step, I always use the same question, and I use it when I'm working solo also.
Feel towards?
Correct.
Yeah. The question never even comes into my head. Why doesn't it come into my head?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the IFS term is blended. I am so blended with it that there's not even room for.
What just came into your head just now?
I know, but I'm talking to you.
All right. Well, so imagine you're talking to me next time.
Right. Yes, that might not be such a silly idea, actually.
No, I mean, I could see that helping. I think this having a buddy helps, and
yeah,
I use little mental envisioning people and beings all the time to help me.
yeah. I think the thing of it is, now here's an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've said to you that I want to be in self when I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when things are happening, I'd like to be able to be in self. But the part of me that wants to do that is well, it's opposite part probably. The part that says, "No, fuck that! I'm gonna tear strips off them." You know,
Right.
The part that wants to be in self is not. I think I'm playing games in my head now, but it's not very present. I think I just can't get out of that headspace of how I've always done things, and into the different headspace that is needed to access the IFS stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's just an excuse. Because see, I've been thinking about this call all week and thinking, I must, when I'm talking to James,
yeah.
Why did I not? Instead of saying, "I'll wait and talk to James," why did I not say, "I'll talk to myself"?
Yes. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something to do with it's something to do with what's the word I'm looking for? Self the words that are coming into my head, which aren't quite right, but are things like self-ownership or self-empowerment or self responsibility, or so, like it's kind of like I'm giving up responsibility for myself and saying I have to wait for, in this case, James.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am.
And again, this is after the identifying of the parts, but before the second step.
Yeah. The identifying of the parts is just the briefest little flash. Like something will pop into my head and say, "What? That's a part," and I'll go, "Yeah," and then I'll carry right on with what I was doing.
Okay.
And somewhere in there, I say, "Yeah, that's a part," but right now I'm really pissed, and they're so stupid, and I can write out a whole 5-page document, which I, never do anything with, but just get it out of my head.
Yeah.
And I get to the end and I go, "Phew, well, that's sorted." I've,
Okay.
and then my brother will ring up and he'll have to tell me to shut up because I'm going on too much,
So,
and that
would it be safe to say that you're not doing that step of asking myself how I feel towards a part?
Yes, not even close.
Okay. So what happens if you try that now? I'm not asking you how you feel towards a part. I'm asking you if you can ask yourself that.
Yes. Okay. Can we do our minute of...
I'd love to.
Yes, I think that would help me get...
Okay.
Yes.
I'll set a timer now.
Thank you.
That was a minute.
Okay. So, I have a whole bunch of parts of me that are all chaotic and clambering over each other. And the main feeling in my body that I have is this feeling of a lump in my stomach. And my breathing's a bit weird.
Okay.
And how do I feel towards that? I feel, how do I feel? I'm a bit scared. Yep, I feel a bit scared. I feel several things. I think I feel scared. I feel, I feel agitated. So I'm clearly blended with it. But I also feel the scared is I can maybe pinpoint it a bit more and say a bit threatened by it.
Okay.
So I feel threatened by this part that I haven't got a part yet. I've still just got this feeling.
Is that feeling compassion and curiosity?
No, I mean the feeling in my stomach. It's
right.
I haven't given it a name yet. It just feels. I don't even know if it's one part or many parts, and it intimidating. That's what it is. That's the word I'm looking for. I feel intimidated towards it. Yeah.
All right. You have.
Yeah.
You feel intimidated.
Yes, and I can't get to know it or get to understand it, and through getting to know it, find some stuff out. I can't do that while I'm feeling intimidated.
Correct.
So I need to talk to that part.
Yes.
The intimidating part.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
the intimidating part is kind of running around all over the place. Saying, look at me over here. No, look at me over here. No, look at me over here. And come away, come away, come away, come away.
Okay.
All
right. You've step one identified the part and noticed some things about it.
Yeah. So I still haven't named this part that's in my stomach, but I've named a part that's reacting to it, which is the part that feels intimidated and wants me to run away.
All right, so we're switching our target, our focus to this one for now.
I think so. I think I have to, because this one usually succeeds, and that's when I just shut everything down and say, "But not doing it anymore." Okay. So this intimidating one that says "come away," the "come away" part.
Yes.
That part, I can't really locate it because.
Okay, we've already noticed some things about it, right?
that it wants me to come away.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a bit scared.
Okay. So you have somewhat of a read on it.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Step 2.
I can't remember. Wait a minute. Getting space with it, asking it to see me. I don't know.
Yeah, those work. Those work. But what I never skip is asking how I feel towards it.
Okay, so I felt the scared part, and the way I felt towards that was intimidated and come away. And now I'm asking how I feel towards the intimidated and come away part.
Yes.
Yes, I should do that. Yes, I should. Yes, okay. I feel it feels very familiar to me. It's I know exactly what to do to make it happy. I go away. It's very busy. It rushes around all over the place. It expends an awful lot of energy. It's
Okay. Those are all things that you are observing about it.
Yes, yeah. And I'm not even sure I'm observing. I just know because this part is so familiar to me. Yeah.
Right.
It's busy. It rushes around. It's insistent. It tells me that to do anything else would be really foolish. And
okay. It sounds like you have a pretty good read on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What does it want me to know?
I would go with, how do I feel towards it?
Oh, how do I feel towards it? Yes. Well, I'm kind of comfortable with it. Like, I kind of believe it. But that's blended, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How do I feel towards it? Grateful. It is the best choice of all the choices I've got, of all the parts that are there at the minute. It's the best one. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, you also have that familiarity and you're comfortable with it. So I think you accurately name that as being blended.
Yeah. Right. So I know I blend with it easily. I know it's the least dangerous choice at the minute. So how else do I feel towards it? I feel quite grateful to it. I feel, okay. I feel
Yeah.
I know there's something here. I'm just trying to get to it, James. I feel like letting it make the choices.
Right. You're blended with it.
I hand myself over to it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels fine to me.
Right. As it usually does when we're blended with parts. They're
right. Yes.
When they're in control, they're fine with being in control. And
yeah.
We feel kind of fine with them being in control because they're in control.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So we have a part that we're blended with.
It
gets tricky.
Yes. And it's about at this point when I'm doing on my own, I just go, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think you've done really great so far.
So do I just keep, it's turtles all the way down. I just keep going down the turtles, down
All
the
right.
cards.
So what I usually do when
Yeah.
I'm at this place, when it's like, okay, I'm blended,
Yeah.
or my caller is blended, I've asked them how they feel towards, and the answer is blended.
Yes,
Then
right.
the first thing I do usually then is just make a direct request. Part, will you give me some space?
Ah, yes. Yes. Yes.
And sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't, and I go from there.
Yeah. Okay. So this come away part, with which I am 95% blended, because I can talk about it. So there must be a little bit of me that doesn't.
I think so.
Yeah. Come away part. Sorry, what was the question again? Can it not blend? Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. Can I just do a wee sidetrack?
Sure.
This is part of the problem that happens, is that the part of me that keeps the question is the cognitive part of me. Do you know what I mean? And the link between the cognitive and all the part stuff,
right,
is not. I don't have that very strongly. So if I ever stray over into the cognitive, like, what's the question I was meant to ask? What was the question?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to really internalize it.
Right.
And
so this problem.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you're in self energy, then it's hard to go wrong with parts.
Yes.
So we really just kind of need to have those crutches for the unblending.
Yeah, to get unblended. Yep.
Yeah. And I agree that can be kind of a cognitive process, because I need to remember how to do this and etc.
Yes.
But I also would say that this is something that you can fit on a post-it note, maybe even a small post-it note.
Yes, I saw where you did that. on a what's name card. Yeah, I should write it out on a card and just look at it. Yeah, then I wouldn't have to think about it.
Because so far we're only at 2 or 3 prompts.
Okay. Right, and it's gone again. I've forgotten it again. I should write it. Let me see. Then we'll write it down. That's me. I'm just pulling out a piece of paper. Can you unbelieve me?
Yeah, will you give me some space?
Yeah. I think I can feel it in myself a little bit now. The jump between the cognitive question and then implementing that question inside, which is not always as a question. It's more like a feeling. I'm talking.
Right.
I'm making it complicated again. But anyway, let me try. Can it? So this is the come away part. Can it give me space? And the come away part is looking at me as if I'm talking gibberish.
Yeah.
Because its job is to get me away from all of that stuff. And if it gives me any space, I might decide not to. Or yeah.
So I think you've now done the hardest part, because you are already more unblended.
Yeah,
it's looking at me.
Yes.
And it thinks this about me, and I can hear in your tone that you're not.
Yeah. And I can
feeling
feel
a lot
it in
less
myself.
jangled right now, right?
Yes, and I can feel I can feel that in myself. And this is the time for me where I have to strengthen that feeling and solidify that space. You know, the space between me and the part. If I move too quickly to other things, my cognitive part comes in and says, "That's the wrong word to use. You should use this word." I need to. It's about the relationship with this part. So we're just going to sit and look at each other for a bit. Come away. So just to let you know, the energy that's happening is the energy that goes along with the words like you belong here, you're my part.
Yeah.
Where else would you be? Of course you're here with me. I see you.
Yep.
I'm not here to judge or admonish or
Yeah.
Of course you're here.
Of course.
So there's a lot of that sort of going on at the minute. Because the more that goes on, the more the part relaxes.
Yep.
And the more solid I feel in in myself as well.
And the cognitive part also relax.
And the cognitive part, just says, okay, I'll just watch from the sidelines here because I don't really get this. Like, stuff's happening and you're not saying anything.
Right, because this is the part that the cognitive part can't do.
Yeah. It can get the words. In the script, and it can change the words if it, and quibble over the words, but it can't actually sit and eyeball, and not even eyeball, that sounds too aggressive, but it can't sit and face the part and
accept it.
Say
just
yes, and say hi with its body.
Okay.
So that's happening quite a lot, and the part has settled. It's a bit anxious because it doesn't know what's going to happen next, because it hasn't done this before. So there's probably two ways I could go now. I could ask this part to give me some space so that I can go to the part that's making me feel sick in my stomach. Or I could get to know this part a little bit better and why it does what it does.
Correct.
And my cognitive part is saying, well, I don't know. No.
How will I choose? Call James.
Call James.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So let me see. I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Again, I think you can't really lose from this place. As you were saying earlier,
Right.
once you're in self energy, you're not going to be making
Yes.
decisions that you regret. You're not going to be making things worse.
Yeah. So cognitive part is still saying, but you have to know why you're doing it. Why are you choosing? Okay. I don't know. Let's, so the come away part is sitting there just with its head cocked on one side. Yeah. Okay.
I sometimes think of parts like puppies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like they all need me.
Right.
And I don't spend too much time thinking about which one do I feed first. Although that does sometimes enter the equation. Sometimes I do say, hey, wait, this one always gets fed first. Hold on a minute. But in general,
yes,
they just want someone to be with them.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's the part that might be missing. At the moment, I think the come away part is because it's actually seen me. The come away part is it's a little anxious about what's going to happen next and doesn't quite know if it wants what it wants. I think maybe that's maybe that's where I get unstuck a little bit doing it myself is and it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but looking at it at a different angle. So my parts don't fully trust me unless someone like you is there with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving up that power thing again. It's
yeah. Does it make sense to you why these parts don't trust you?
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. If they don't have, I mean, you just said that this part has never done this with you.
Yes.
You also told me earlier that you've never really gotten into self energy on your own.
No.
So.
No, certainly on this subject. Yeah. Yeah. So why would they?
Right. Yep.
Okay. So I'm a bit stuck again. So I need to. So this come away part, I need to spend the time that it needs so that it trusts me somewhat, so that it has some feeling of trust in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not
the.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the more you do this, the more they all trust you.
Yeah.
Because it's not a fluke, and you don't need me. The more they see you doing that, it just gets easier and easier.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the hump that I'm at. This little bit here. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
celebrating, and I know that you're asking and thinking about what to do next, but I kind of feel like this is what you were struggling with, was how do I get to this place on my own?
Yes, totally.
And so yeah, I would just practice that.
Yeah. And the way to get there is not to do very much of anything, actually. The way to get there is not to do a lot. The way to get there is to be a lot, is to, so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just going with this part. I'm saying, I'm just here. That's all. Like,
Right.
Like I don't have to,
Accomplish anything.
Yes. There is no agenda. I'm not asking. It's just being. Just be.
Mm-hmm.
Just be here with me. Just be. And together we will figure out what the space between us
Absolutely
feels like. Yeah.
Yep. First, let's get together and make sure that we're together.
Yeah.
Then we'll figure the rest out.
And then the rest will work out somehow or other. Yeah. And I need to do heaps of that. That's what I need to do heaps of, rather than what's the next question in the script? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think I need that. So this part of me, come sit beside me on the park bench and we'll look out at the you know how you can sit next to people and just sitting next to them makes you clench, and go, oh, and you can sit next to other people and just go, ah. And you don't need to be looking, you don't need to be talking, you don't need to be doing anything. That's what I need. I need whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So come and sit next to me and
Okay.
Lean back and take in the view.
Okay. Would you like to review the 2 or 3 steps that it took to get to this place?
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
You knew step 1.
In my body part.
Yeah. Identifying.
Yeah.
Step 2.
Her pet, your pet.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Step 2 was either feeling toward or giving a bit of space, maybe both at the same time. Maybe feeling towards generates the space.
Yeah, feeling towards lets you know if you need to ask apart for space.
But yes.
And that's it. Those are all the prompts that you needed to get from there to here.
Just sitting on the park bench in a relaxed, welcoming, unagitated, unagenderized way.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll give you one more, which is, let's say I ask the part for space and it's like, hell no. Then I might go with something like, okay, well, what do you need? What do you need, period? Or what do you need in order to give me some space? Or
Yeah. So whatever it presents, that's what you attend to. Yeah. It's attending to. That's what it is, just attend to it. Mm-hmm. And if it's a puppy, you feed it. And if it's a part that says no way, then you go, what do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you need in order to give me some space or to let me
Yeah.
in a little
Yeah.
bit? And if
Yeah.
it still
Or to-
says hell no, well, you might just be blended and try again next time.
yeah. Nice to meet you. I'll call again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then from then on out, it's kind of like it's kind of like that's where the unknowable stuff comes from, or the stuff that I haven't known until then. Like that's when you start getting
Right.
information and things that make you go, oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a guide, that's when I start feeling more and more irrelevant, is once someone's unblended and I'm just
Right.
I'm pretty much half the time
Yeah.
I'm just getting in their way by asking, questions that are not the way that they need to be going. So
Yeah, that's the place where the questions and the answers kind of flow out of each other.
mm-hmm. Right.
I've never got anywhere close to that solo. Never.
Okay.
So
I think this counts as solo. I think you just did it.
do you think
I'm gonna count it.
You're going to mark it in the right-hand column, not the left-hand column. Okay. It doesn't quite feel like that to me yet, but I think that's a part telling me that I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah, just do it again and do it another time. And
yeah. So what do you think? Here I go again. What do you think? Like, I did have an agenda for this call,
right,
which was coming away with something, woo.
Yeah, you had an agenda with this call. You said, James, I've never been able to get into self energy on my own in solo work. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know. Did we make any progress towards that?
I don't know.
I think so. I really am. I'm having those woo feelings.
Okay. Because the other part of the agenda was, I want to know what to do the next time I get some stupid call or stupid message or stupid email. I want to know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty high bar. It's a pretty high bar when it's your actual family members talking to you about, I mean, it couldn't be any higher. You're talking about issues that have been going on for decades, your mother's health and all of this stuff. So that's why I thought, okay, yeah, we really should just start with where we are. And yeah, can you do it on the couch on your own without that? That's where it'd start.
Yeah. You're right. It is the highest bar. Yeah. It is the most significant. It has the most significance of anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I might not even be a very qualified guide around that stuff myself.
What part of you?
I got a postcard from my mother today.
Did you?
And yeah, and my choice will be to not respond. So
yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh, all my parts are they're all holding their breath.
Yeah.
You're okay?
And yeah, but it's like you said, is that the best response? I don't know. I guess I can do some more parts work around it. I've done plenty around it, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm just saying that my
Yeah.
confidence with how to navigate such issues might not be
Well, I think, yeah.
something to look towards.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Okay. I feel a little unfinished.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. What's that about?
Mm-hmm.
I think, generally speaking, I have a bit of a problem with endings of all sorts. You know,
Okay.
I never know how to hang the phone up. I can't just say goodbye.
Okay.
So I have a part that struggles with endings anyway. So maybe it's just
welcome that part.
Yes. You're kind of a funny little part. You are.
Yes. So what does it need from you?
The part that doesn't want to end. It needs. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. Okay. Give me a minute. It wants to know it's not going to lose anything by agreeing to end.
Okay.
It's not an ending of everything. It's just an ending of.
I'd like to talk with you again.
Yes. So not all endings are equal. Not all endings are death, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just yeah, that feels a bit better.
Yep.
Okay, that's another part that I might be able to do with not quite so much at stake.
Is that what it's concerned about? Just kind of losing?
Yeah, like not literally. It's just, it kind of like it's that difference between the cognitive and the feeling again. Cognitively, it knows that this is not the ending, but the feeling is that this might be the end of everything. But it feels like that for every ending. Like there's something that hasn't been done. There's something that hasn't been finished properly, and if you'll never know if it ends now and you fucked it up, and you'll never get the moment that it's death.
Okay.
You know.
Would it help to just spend another minute just checking inside for anything that feels undone, or asking this part if there's anything that feels undone?
I'll ask the part. Yeah. The part says it doesn't know, but there might be.
Okay.
And it's a risk. You've got to check everything. Yeah.
Okay. Again, I'm totally fine with taking your time to check.
Okay.
I'm checking in myself too.
Cool. So the part's right. There might be something.
Yeah.
There might be something that wasn't quite tied up neatly. But that doesn't mean I've got the feeling again and not the words. That doesn't mean the end of the world. That just means there might be a little unfinished bit.
I thought of one.
Yeah.
A couple of times you were saying, we were talking about you doing it on your own, and I was saying, yeah, you're doing it on your own. And yeah, I feel like, I wasn't really empathizing to the parts of you that disagreed, or I realized that what I was saying wasn't necessarily like rational. So I want to apologize for,
So
pushing there or ignoring what you were experiencing.
Right.
In what I said.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yes, there might be something there. Yes. Because I wasn't on my own. No, I don't think I did. Can you say a wee bit more? I feel it's something. I just haven't.
Okay. Well, I had an exaggerated response about my part's excitement and joy in seeing you do this in a kind of a new way.
Yes.
And just feeling really hopeful and optimistic and happy, and
yes.
And I realized that the way that was expressed was not necessarily empathetic or respectful for how it felt to you.
It didn't give quite the space to what I was feeling. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And thank you. I like. I really appreciate that. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think that was a good thing to notice that happened, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So thanks to that part of yours that wants to look out for getting the endings right, for giving me that opportunity to check inside myself and bring that up.
Yeah. It actually has made quite a difference, actually. Yes. Thank you. That's gosh. Clever old you. Because I just would have been walking around with this loose end hanging. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Does it feel like it's no longer? Does it feel like okay.
Much closer. I still think it's just got the habit of saying there might be something else.
Yeah.
When perhaps there isn't, because that's its habit.
Yeah.
It's trying really hard to find something. So you're all good right now?
Me, I'm great. I feel really great, and I really appreciate the time and the everything.
Yeah. And you've got good things to go and do, and
yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna go have dinner and go to bed. I'm
yes.
all sore. Yesterday I took a martial arts class for the first time in my adult life. So found all kinds of muscles that have never been used, and I go to bed early.
Yes. What sort of martial art?
It's a self-defense kind. It's not really artistic at all. So yeah, I did that, and then I went and gave blood. So I was like, okay, I need a wheelchair now.
Thank you, body.
Yeah. Yep. Still recovering.
Wow, that's a pretty full-on day. Okay, so your muscles need you to go and have some protein or something.
Yeah,
and
some ice cream. Yep.
and some ice cream. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, James, thank you so much.
Okay, I'll reach out and get you back on the calendar if you'd like.
Okay, that would be super. And I am going to, I'll report back any progress on my self-process. That would be good.
Okay.
Lovely. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, talk soon. Bye.
All right, talk to you. Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.